I'm the Centre Manager for the University of Western Australia Wave Energy Research Centre in Albany. I'm not a researcher. My background is in the biological sciences, so I've got a PhD in neuroscience and I worked on colour vision in marsupials as part of that project. I worked in marine science and I worked in astronomy, and now I'm working in ocean engineering. I would say I'm a science ambassador more than anything else. So my work is largely computer-based, so it's as such, it's a very much, sit in front of your screen and hack away emails and reports kind of job. The most interesting aspect is the range of people I talk to. So I still do sort of the type mentoring, training kind of activities that I've always felt passionate about for students, making sure that they are being well looked after and perceive their own project as an experience rather than just the path to a degree. And also I talk to fellow researchers obviously, and also politicians, decision makers, quite high up in the food chain these days. So that is actually that has been really interesting because no one prepares you for that as such if you're a scientist, and you have to adapt your language quite a lot. You learn how to get a message across that is exactly working with the particular audience you're talking to. And for me to appreciate the needs of the audience and then talk to whoever needs to receive this information to make good decisions, that for me is the most inspiring aspect. The difficult aspects are really to sort of cut through how can I get the necessity, the importance of this particular project across, knowing the environment that they sort of the boundaries of their potential for decision making. Really, being a scientist by training but not being a researcher puts you in a different sort of different position within research teams. They don't quite know how to handle you. Are you admin staff or are you a fellow researcher? So that's a bit interesting. Well, I was actually quite lucky in that my first job out of the PhD was as an outreach officer for what's called the Australian Ocean Data Network. So this is a public platform, a collection of ocean data, all sorts of things, salinity data, temperature data, biology data. So that gave me exposure to Australian government agencies, for example, and their collection of data. And this ranges across agencies like the Navy or Australian Institute for Marine Science. So a wealth of data. And this is still something that I find quite valuable to acknowledge, that there is a lot of data out there. So if you want to gauge whether you really have to conduct this experiment, maybe go back whether this has already been done, and go from there. Apart from being the manager of a research group, so the centre are effectively people who work across two locations, so Albany and Perth. I'm also the manager of a building, of a facility, so that's the Great Southern Marine Research Facility in Albany. And as such, it's been very interesting for me personally, as a personal development too, that we were able to open the space for public and school engagement. So we've got a dedicated room now that does exactly that, for displays and hands-on experiences, and you can really design the experience for the audience and for the visitors. So I moved here 2 and a bit years ago, and the most significant aspect I found was that people who are here are just very proud of this region. People absolutely love the Great Southern, and they know all their beaches, they know all their hikes and whatnot. And this is something that, it came with the job description, so I didn't choose Albany as such, I chose the job. But you very quickly come to appreciate exactly why that is the mindset. I also found the rich Aboriginal history very enriching. I quite relate to these kind of aspects. Some level of coding is probably really what you want to know, but I didn't know any, and I sort of still get around, obviously. But it's, I would say, first and foremost, pick something that inspires you. It's all about language, how you nurture these interests. So for us, what worked really well was to go like, well, if you look at a particular image of a nebula or black hole or whatever, if that's inspiring to you to find out more, then just accept that there's tools to go with it. Just like a brickie might look at a house and sort of go like, whoa, that's cool architecture, I want to build this, but is not particularly excited about how to, stir the cement to the right consistency. So there's just a set of tools you just have to accept. in any job.